Hi, this is I'll explain. This is another I'll explore, but we are not review, overview others things about this plush. If you want to know, this is Lady Lucerne from Iron Lily, made by Makeshift that you may or may not know. They basically is a Kickstarter program that help creator makes plushes for their fans. Anyway, I'm making this. I'll explore. Well, actually, this is really I'll explain, but more in the I'll explore free-form format. It's because I'm seeing the increase in favor of bootlegs over licensed production, be it plush, or it's actually a great increase of people supporting bootleg plushes, but that also happens in the gunpla or mecha model slash figurine slash toy world. And because we from the mecha toy figurine community had this discussion, went through this discussion, and we are still affected by it, but I think it's a lot less prominent for us because in mecha community, a lot of the licensed products are owned by these IPs are owned by some studios, some sizable studio. You know, they might be small in comparison, but they are still sizable compared to plushes, which are mostly just regular as in you can name a dozen or few of them, but they are still quite small. Internet personnel or artists, curators, pretty much. These independent curators, or with their small company, owning this rather small IP. Some of them are larger than others, but they are way smaller than the IP owner of, the mecha genre studios. So I want to make this studio because we went through the same discussion, and there are, as much as I would say there are some positive with the bootleg conversation, in the end you really need to support the licensed products to actually make a difference and to have good new products. But to my point, before we take a look at Lady Lucerne, for some of the things to some of the people that I might address by name later, that why or how bootlegs get some better, heavily in quotes, quality over or licensed released. So our old friend Super Shock Gundam here. Like I said before, very good value. It just so happens that Super Shock Gundam here, it's about the same price range as Lady Lucerne, depending on where you are, really. But it's on that $30 plus or minus $5. It's a bit hard to find things in the exact same dollar range, but in about $5, that $10 up and like that $5 up and down range, we have Super Shock Gundam. Very fun, but you have to build it yourself, and has a lot of stickers. Plus side, it does come with a piece of gum for each, so you got 5 pieces of gum. Lady Lucerne does not, but that's beyond the point. My point is, this is our baseline. For Mecha, from Bandai themselves, you get this much of plastic playability features for around 30 USD. Now, a new face, at least for the channel. This is the Torgis from the Gundam Universe line. This thing is about 6 to 7 inch in size. It is in fact a bit bigger than most 1-to-144, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. This you don't have to, well, you have to do some basic assembly, put the gun on, put the shield on, but otherwise it is a complete product, just like Lady Lucerne. It have good articulation. You can see it from other reviews, and we will see it later sometime down the line. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you get to finished product, when there are labors involved, you get a lot less bang for your buck. Sure, it is taller than Super Shock Gundam, but it has a lot less features. It just have that one gun and one shield, while Super Shock Gundam have weapons for each of its individual forms, and then weapons that can combine into the bigger weapon, Super Shock Rifle. So this is sort of the baseline of what Bandai is working with their own IP. Now the next item, slightly cheaper than Torgis, but and even smaller margin than Super Shock Gundam, is the Super Minipla Gridman. There are a lot of argument for why Gridman costs so much more than Torgis and Super Shock Gundam, but to be honest, the prime reason is this: licensing from Subaraya. Now, Subaraya is, I would make my stand just like this video, is one of the better ones. Subaraya have been putting on Neo Ultraman show on their YouTube channel. While they are still in Japanese, you can get English subtitles, the automatic ones. Not sure if official ones are that much better, but either way, they are a very internet or fans friendly IP owner. But even for them, when they're involved, they need to get their own cut. You only get Gridman. Now, admittedly, in that box set, you got the combined parts for powered xenons and a lot of hands, but ultimately your prime product is just Gridman. So we sort of went from, non-native IP Gridman to native IP but with labor involved, Torgis, and then Super Shock Gundam, which is no labor cost, just native IP and production, to Lady Lucerne, who makeshift have to pay the creator and their own manufacturing staff. And yeah, that's, there's a vast difference in materials, but I think this is a clear illustration of how licensing can affect how much raw material you get out of your product. That isn't to say makeshift made bad plushes. For examples, her eyes are all stitched with different color threads, so as the cheek and the mouth. They're also on. Hair is a different cloth, the helmet is a different cloth. The details are print on, but for the hammer as well, we'll get to that later, but do note there are a lot of details made by threads. Now, and then she also gets the face mask for the helmet. Now it is, I wouldn't say sad, it is just fact of life. That's because the helmet is not probably not a lot of people use to display. That's why the slits and the breather holes are print on, but that does not affect majority of the plush. Let's just show the makeshift logo here. Now the main contention or argument that Aya on Aya Gaming is making about how bootleg made better plush is their reserve use of print. Like here, like on Lady Lucerne, you can see the red and white coat. Let's bring this closer. You can see the red is print on, and if you wrinkle her tonic correctly, you can see the white underneath. You can easily point out how if makeshift make this thing better, they would sew a red cloth with a white cloth for her tonic. But at the same time, this is a very minor detail compared to her face, literal face, and the helmet and the hair. So if you ask me, if a bootleg company happens to make a second Lady Lucerne with a hammer that is not print, that does not have print on details, but instead different cloth pieces for the hammer, so the or helmet, you can't really tell. But if they make a good hammer, then a helmet, then additional weapons in different cloth pieces, and then give her tonic actual two color cloths, would I buy that bootleg? And my answer is no. And I will tell you no. That is because bootlegs do not pay for the design. They didn't pay for the design, so they didn't have to feed the designer, and all the production stuff. People may not know, but for manufacturing, even for plushes, while you don't need a mold for it, you do need to cut out paper molds or master molds for different cloths to work. While yes, that is part of the manufacturer's job, they would have a much easier time if there is an existing design that they are copying from, be it a existing plush or even just a model. Like for if there is a Gridman plush all of a sudden, they can look at how Bandai or Tomy or anyone good smile company, how they separate or design the Gridman parts, and that would reduce their production headache. And in addition, the reason why bootleg can afford to use more detail for their plushes or models is because they don't have to pay for the designer. They offload their costs into their product. So yes, you get more details or parts for your money, but you're not paying the designer. Basically, it boils down to originality needs to get paid. It is as simple as that. And if you just go for the bootleg, especially for smaller creator, sure, you may see generation upon generations of creator going into the scene and got grind out back to a regular office or blue collar job, not creating because people aren't paying them. But if you support creators, they can afford to keep creating. And because this video is sort of made because of you, Scott Coffin is supporting fans' initiative with their original character. This might be a put-off for some fan initiative developers, but I think his intention is clear. He is trying to support creativity. Copying the FNAF games isn't too hard, or cloning them isn't too hard. Just like cloning Lady Lucerne here isn't too hard. The bootleg company can easily make clones of, just a girl in historical accurate armor outfit on their own. But if they instead steal Iron Lily's design, they are pirating, they are bootlegging, they are robbing creators their credit. So my channel is absolutely minimal. My channel isn't about plushes in general, but please support creators, not the bootleggers who are basically just stealing. Much like all the content farm, pretty much bootleggers are the physical content farms. Thanks for watching.